Welcome, everyone, to the ScreamCast, episode 33. I'm your host, John DeRager, and Brian Sauer's out this week, but Brad Henders is back. Some musical chair action.
I just don't like Brian Sauers. That's why I wasn't on the last show.
No, man, you had a medical thing to help out with your dad, so we were glad everything turned out good. So
that's a HIPAA violation, but okay.
Is it a HIPAA violation?
Yeah.
Is it really?
Violation.
Really?
Yeah.
This is a podcast. There's no violations in podcasts.
There's gonna be.
Well, anyway, glad everything's fine. Moving forward here.
You didn't even ask, but okay.
I didn't ask what?
You just said, I'm glad everything's fine, like you
know. Offline, you ensured us that everything was cool.
Oh, in real life.
In real life.
I think they call that IRL.
Fuck. Okay.
I learned that from the kids today.
See, people, this is a completely different dynamic. When me and Brian are on, me and Brad is completely weird. It's weird. The dynamic is different. We did
because it's more professional. Is that what it is?
No, man.
There's not as much silliness and derailment. I got it.
I guess not. But,
I'll just see the door over here.
No, man, you were missed, and I wanted to ask you your brief thoughts on the movie Nightmare, because I've been curious.
Nightmare. Fuck Code Red.
God damn it.
I'm just kidding.
We'll get to that in a second.
I mean, Nightmare's fun. I mean, people already talked. We already guys talked about it. Everything you probably said. I mean, I enjoy it for what it's worth. It's a fun little gory movie, you know. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's anything special. But I mean, you guys already talked about it. But
if you would have said
literally my 2 cents.
If you would have said that before I was about to shuck $40 towards the Blu-ray, I probably wouldn't have bought it.
That's
so
your
thank
fault.
you very much, jerk. Anyway, no, we talked about it on the last show, and if you like oddities, it's definitely worth picking up if you can find it. And I wanted to bring this up really quick here, because in the last show notes, I put a link directly to the Code Red store to Nightmare. So you can, I like this podcast. I want to check out this movie. Click on the link, go there, buy the movie if you want, support Code Red and what they do. And apparently I was kind of checking on the links and everything, and I saw that it wasn't working, and then I did some digging, and then John Portanova actually hit up our Facebook and showed me some drama going on some horror movie forum. And apparently Nightmare had been pulled from the store because Bill Olson, who runs Code Red, saw that somebody saw some Dutch VHS release that had
Dutch VHS
1 or 2 more seconds on a certain character's death scene, and it was more like just a shadow moving, like nothing substantial at all, right? And so Bill freaked out, said that Nightmare's not is not uncut, like I'm promoting it or whatever. He freaked out, said a lot more than that, and pulled it from his store. As of right now, as we're recording it, he has put it back up on the store with a smart-ass comment based on the whole scenario.
And if you see where it says the part here, actually, let me.
I don't want to spend more time on this than we have to. I just kind of
I kind of want to read it.
We talked about the Code Red craziness in the last podcast, and then we praised his release. And
quote,
then, of course,
quote, I also being called a tool for this botched release, end quote. When he says, I also being called, that's literally what it says, I also being called a tool, that is in direct correlation with Mr. Brad fucking Henderson. And I never called him a tool because of the release. I called him a tool because of what is up above when he called one of the customers out that pointed out that, oh, wow, this is really cool. I have nothing wrong with this release, but I think this is cool that there's an extra, 2 seconds. No big deal. He put this fucking customer's name up on the website saying that, he pointed out such a fucking dick move and not a good move for a business perspective.
No.
So I said, that's really dumb and you're a tool for doing that. And then he went on and he got really confused saying it was me all along. And I was just like, whatever. But anyways, there was a big, it was mostly me just bitching him out.
It's exhausting.
But yeah, I'm done. I'm done with Code Red.
It's like, I was hoping that us covering a Code Red release would kind of show him, like, look, man, you know, the releases you put out are, like, people dig them. You know, we want these on Blu-ray, and you're getting them, and that's great, you know?
Yeah.
But to have this drama go on, I don't know, man. I was hoping we would cover Messiah of Evil when that comes out, but I don't even know. I don't know if we're going to cover any more Code Red releases.
Well, yeah, here's the thing is, Blu-ray announcements. Let's do this real quick.
Let's jump into Blu-ray announcements, and then we got a special guest coming on. We got Ryan Turek coming back on the show.
Do you like what you see?
I love what I see.
Would you like to touch what you see?
Yes, I would.
So,
Blim.
Let's get this shit done so we can talk to Ryan. I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm done with Code Red. We're done.
Well, we're not done just yet, but okay. So October 14th, Blim, Audrey Rose, The Devil's Business, and The Blob, and The Believers were released. Devil's Business from Mondo Macabre or whatever, but Audrey Rose, Blob, and The Believers released by Twilight Time, and the Spielberg set came out. And then October 15th, I know that's an odd date, but Code Red, Lady Stay Dead, Revenge of the Cheerleaders, Brotherhood of Dead, Messiah of Evil came out, quote unquote, came out. So those aren't out. Wonder why.
Yeah,
but yeah, moving along.
I haven't got a shipment notification yet on that.
You won't.
Oh yeah, we don't.
And then the newer releases, of course, everybody knows that Pumpkinhead 2 is pushed to November 18th by Scream. Housebound by Accelerator Media was announced. Slaughter Hotel by Raro was announced. And for some reason, I don't know how I missed Christmas Evil, being it's a Vinegar Syndrome title, and I'm in love with them.
You're too busy focusing on that Peaches title or whatever.
Ooh.
What's it called?
Pretty Peaches.
Pretty Peaches. I wonder what they're referring to.
Titties. November 18th. Those dates. And let's see, December 9th. Dead Snow 2 is announced. It's a fun little sequel.
I'm hearing good
it's
things.
what you expect. And then December 16th, The Long Hair of Death by Raro is coming out, which I've never seen. And also on December 16th, by MPI, At the Devil's Door was being announced. I know that's kind of out of nowhere title, but I recently watched At the Devil's Door, and it is so fucking good.
Nice.
I love it so much. It more than likely will hit my top 10 for this year. I love devil shit, so I'm all on board. And then today, Scream Factory announced. Oh, actually, over the past couple days, they announced a bunch of animal attack movies.
Yes.
Sean, do you have that list per se?
Shit! You're asking. Oh, god damn, man.
So, Jaws of Death.
Shit. Oh, you got it?
No, I'm just remembering.
Oh, here we go. Hold on.
I'm fucking saying them. Jaws of Death, Empire of Ants, Reptilicus. What was the other one?
Empire of the Ants, Jaws of Satan, Tentacles, and Reptilicus.
Tentacles. And then the day before, they announced Food of the Gods, Part 1, not Part 2.
Fail.
Well, I think Lionsgate owns Part 2.
Oh, well, shit, that will never see the light of day.
Yeah. And then, what was the other?
Frogs.
What was that? Yeah, Frogs. Frogs is fun.
They gotta release Slugs, dude. Someone has to release Slugs on Blu-ray.
Image owns Slugs.
God damn it. Alright, fine. I love Slugs.
And I don't think you want Image releasing any Blu-rays.
No.
So, they've done that, and it hasn't went over too well.
Way to ruin my
I think
evening.
the last horror, older title that they released in the horror section was Reanimator. And people had a shit fit over that release.
Oh, really? I bought it and I haven't watched it yet. What was the problem with that one?
It's just, it's not a very good transfer. I mean, the transfer's okay. It's better than any VHS that's out there. But that special edition DVD that came out a few years ago is actually decent. So, are more decent than the Blu-ray. I mean, even like they released, I think like No Holds Barred, and they released Blind Date on Blu-ray. I know those are two weird titles to bring up, but I'm on their mailing list, so I remember those, and you know, they're okay transfers. I mean, I don't see a big deal with Image, but I mean, I think they get enough negative shit back that they don't want to do that anymore.
Well, at least they don't pull titles that are already out in circulation.
All right. So, anyways, that is the Blu-ray announcements.
Oh, you forgot Tremors 5. Tremors 5, man, really announcement today. By the time you hear this, it'll have been a week. But
Jamie Kennedy's in it.
Tremors, yeah, no, Tremors
Doesn't
5.
Matter.
I was all excited because I saw Tremors 5, and then it says right underneath, because looking at the picture, he's running and doesn't really, I don't know who the hell that is. And then I read, Michael Gross, then along newest co-star Jamie Kennedy. Maybe he can surprise us.
No.
All right. Well, I'm gonna rent. It'll be on VOD, digital HD, and everything. But in 2016, so that's a ways.
We'll forget.
Well, totally. And they'll be like, "Oh shit, Tremors 5's coming out."
Yeah.
All right. That's
Jamie Kennedy. That's it.
That's it so far. You good? Done?
I'm done with you.
I'm done with you. I'm gonna talk to. I want to get some Turek in me.
Oh God!
Let's bring Ryan Turek onto the call here. I'm going to try to do this on the air, and we'll see if this works. All right, sorry, Brad, you there?
Yeah, you fucking put me on hold.
I meant to add to where the fuck did I go? Add to call. There we go.
Oh, good.
Professional people, professionalism.
There's I see a video of Ryan. He looks all mad.
What's up?
Hey. What's up, man?
What's going
on, man?
Welcome to the ScreamCast. We are mid-show and we just brought you on. No, we did the Blu-ray announcements and
what?
We did the Blu-ray announcements without you because you didn't want to hear all that bullshit.
All right, cool.
We got some real.
I forgot to tell you, Ryan is going by DJ Cranky Cat today.
Spinning anger, frustration.
We're the story of our evening.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we were bitching about, so we didn't want to bring you into our bitching session. So
I know you're bitching about the new Saw sequel that they're possibly throwing around.
Yeah, well, listen, I mean, I talked to those guys. It was funny because when I talked to them, one producer was really excited. And he was like, yeah, so we were talking to James and Lee and blah, blah, blah. And then Mark Berg was really quick to go, well, let's just see. Hang on a second. But, and then of course James wouldn't say anything. So,
right.
Yeah.
And we are recording. So just so you know, this is, we're not editing, right?
Yeah.
So don't divulge anything too crazy.
It's all good. It's
okay. All right. Yeah. I don't want to get anyone angry at our show. Because everyone listens to our show.
Hey man, I think you guys got a pretty good fan base.
I'm being.
We get hate mail. That's cool.
From one person.
Oh yeah. Really? About what?
That
me.
He doesn't like Brad.
Oh. Well, yeah. What's that? Well, I have to admit, guys. I mean, as both a listener and someone who loves to come on your show and talk horror with you. I have to say that I did turn off the drunken episode halfway through my session.
You're the only one.
I could not. Because I usually listen to podcasts when I'm out running or working out or whatever. And I was sitting there and I'm like, nah, guys, I'm sorry.
I was too. I almost told Sean not to post that fucking episode.
But I was going on vacation. We had to get something out there. We had to get something.
But the thing is that episode tracked better than anything we've had recently.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't understand.
Yeah. But we're not doing it again. That's for sure. If Ryan Turek doesn't approve, it's fucking
hell no.
over.
You gotta cut that out. Just cut it out of your blog.
Well, I'm drinking a protein shake right now, and I'm doing squats as we're talking. So,
well, that's right. I'm doing bench presses with a bottle of Jameson. Ghost roids, guys. Ghost roids.
Man,
I almost spit everywhere when you said that.
Well, Ryan, we wanted to have you on. Brad, why did we want Ryan on? Other than the fact that Ryan's awesome.
Because we're talking about curtains and sea anal.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to be talking about curtains today, and then the new film that's out right now on video on demand, The Canal.
On the night Alice disappeared, I went to that guy's house, and I saw them together in bed. And I remember I was just being sick. And I looked up, and there was someone looking over the cubicle wall at me. This is the man that killed Alice.
Dad, when will Mummy be coming back? I miss her.
Some films came in from the police archive. Would you look at them for me?
Hey, that's my road. I know this sounds crazy, but this is the same man I saw on the night Alice was murdered. I knew what I seen was real. Tell me you believe this.
Did it get any sort of limited theatrical run?
It did. It got I think a 13 screen theatrical run. So I played here in Los Angeles, New York, a couple other cities. There's a on the Canal Facebook page, which I think is the Canal the movie. On Facebook, and there is a button on the side that says like more, and you click that, and then there's a theatrical listing where you could find it all in all the theaters. But I know that's playing through this week.
Cool.
And I'm not certain how long it's playing or how long the engagement is. However, everything, these days being driven towards VOD, it's all about the iTunes, it's all about the Amazon and the Vudu and all that other stuff. So, but if you're somebody that wants to see it on the big screen, I certainly recommend you do, because this has an amazing, sound mix and soundtrack. It plays really loud and pretty amazing. So,
I wanted to ask, how did you get involved? How are you involved with The Canal? It's funny because people are like, did you produce it? I'm like, no. I'm a really good promotion guy. Because The Canal is one of our first theatrical releases, under our distribution agreement with The Orchard. Okay.
The Orchard picked it up, out of Tribeca after having me take a look at it, after having them take a look at it. I mean, when it played at Tribeca one evening, they literally sent me the link that night. And they said, what do you think of this? And the next morning, that night, I texted them. I was like, get it. This is awesome. And this could be potentially your first theatrical release. So they were like, fantastic. They got into a bidding war with the usual suspects. They came out on top, and, our distribution agreement, asks us to, if I'm getting behind this movie and I'm helping them pick these movies, then, we got to certainly pony up and help market and promote them. So that's what we're doing, Cool. And when I go to my Facebook page and I'm like, guys, listen, this is a big deal. It's not just because, it's a movie that I had involvement in. It's just a movie that I get to but I get to show, I actually got some good taste in movies. That's how my involvement plays.
Okay.
And, I'm just being a good promoter, and thankfully it's a movie that I really, really love and I really, really get behind. And I think Ivan Kavanaugh, the director, is fantastic. On the flip side of that, there's a film that I was trying to get them to buy that I thought was hilarious and fun, and they literally said to me, like, yeah, we don't get this one, guy. I'm sorry. So I couldn't win that battle, but that's how it's been.
Well, The Canal is an interesting movie. You say that seeing it in the theater would be the way to go. I rented it on Amazon, and I watched it because I couldn't watch it in our other room because when everyone sleeps, I need to wear headphones, and I wanted to go through speakers. But I had to watch it through the Wii, which was standard definition.
So
what the fuck, the Wii?
Wait a minute, who has a Wii?
My kids do. My kids have a Wii, and they use that for their Netflix.
That shit plays movies?
Yeah, it has Amazon and Netflix. And Hulu.
I hate to bring it to you, man, but your kids deserve more. Your kids deserve better. Come on, sir.
We have a Wii, but it stays behind the television and collects dust.
Well, my kids use it all the time, mainly for Netflix. But I rented it and I watched it just and all the sound and everything aside, I thought it was a really interesting movie because it kind of, you look at the poster and you see the trailer. I went into this completely blind. The only time I saw the poster was when I rented it. And I didn't see the trailer until after I saw the movie. And it reminds me of these kind of these new movies that are coming out that are more kind of a slower paced, I guess. They build more. The story builds
slow burn,
more character driven, like Oculus or The Quiet Ones. But this one, man, like this one really kind of messed with me. I think maybe being a father, kind of, but it wasn't. I liked that it wasn't your standard ghost flick. I was like, here we go. This is gonna be some sort of haunted house flick. You know what I mean? You kind of, but it goes its own direction. And I have to give it props for that, for being that original, that it did surprise me. And Rupert Evans is the main actor, and he's fantastic. The acting all the way around.
Yeah, everybody forgets. A lot of people forget that he was Hellboy's partner in Hellboy. And I remember when Hellboy came out, we were like, this guy, he's a little stiff, and he doesn't really have that much chemistry, and. Well, maybe that's because he's working up against a couple giant foam monsters. But here, between Hellboy and this film, he's done a lot of television, especially in the UK. He's done a few dramas. So I think that he has aged really well. And I think he's got a lot more experience under his belt. And yeah, he comes across fantastic as, a father, a devoted husband, a husband on the edge. And when he starts to crack, man, you're with him, you really feel it. You really feel it along the way. What I gravitated towards, aside from that killer ending, is that there's this kind of underlying Dennis Wheatley kind of, cult thing going on behind the ghost story, behind the haunted house aspect. When you look at the finer details and you look at the photos and you look at like all the stuff that's being revealed, you're like, oh man, there's like some old school like Hammer horror thing going on here. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, Brad, what are your thoughts?
Totally.
What are your thoughts on the Canal, man?
Yeah. No, I rented it fucking Friday morning, and I watched it that morning. I was doing laundry, and I put a load on, and I was like, all right, let's do this. And everybody is out of the house, so I fucking turned it way up, set my alarm off. But yeah, it's number one. I went in blind like you. I didn't even see the poster until I rented it, and then I found Rupert Evans was in it. And he's actually one of my favorite actors, believe it or not. He's in a movie that has ultimately become one of my favorites of all time. Is a movie he did in 2011 called Asylum Blackout, which is retitled The Incident.
Okay.
That's right.
He plays George, and he's fucking so good. And see, like even having that character and then as this character as a family man, a dad. I think his name's David. But he has. I like how he has just a very mediocre, normal name. But with this film, like it's like I developed this kind of my own genre in a way. I call it story horror, where it totally focuses. Like there's no like there's tidbits of horror through the film, but when it really turns it on, it really fucking cranks it up, and it gets kind of fucking scary at times. Like there's a couple scenes in particular that I was like, wow, like it totally comes out of nowhere because it's very story driven, and it has a kind of sends chills up and down your spine here or there. But man, at certain times I was like, holy crap, I'm glad I'm kind of watching this during the day. But yeah, no, I dug the whole film. I thought the ending was incredible. Yeah. It was, I like those slow burns. I love slow burns, like the build up, as long as it's interesting. And in this film, it is interesting because it kind of leaves you guessing. It has a couple different little things it could segue into, and you kind of expect and you think that you can kind of figure it out. But it ultimately it surprises you as every corner, and that's what I really dug about this film.
Yeah, it treats it more of a mystery and psychological drama more than relying on jump scares or actually relying on some ghost. You know what I mean? Like like so many ghost stories, they kind of you get the cheap jump scares every now and then then at the end it's this big reveal of some ghost. Like I liked that there was that they kind of held the reins and reined things in and kept it simple, but it had that just build up of dread all the way through. And, there's, I don't know, it's it's rare that a horror movie, especially a modern horror movie for me, kind of sticks with me. And this one I've been thinking about ever since I saw it. I want to see it on a. I want everyone to leave the house so I can friggin' watch this in my main room with the
not on a Wii.
Exactly, on my big 16-inch screen with the sound cranked up.
Yeah,
my brand new receiver.
Well, what's interesting about the movie is that like if you look at it, there are basically two gigantic chunks that are dedicated to just pure horror. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to give them away, but like the first one, it's more. It's more psychological, and it's more of this kind of fever dream-esque quality to it as you're focusing on this one husband who's like, he's getting pushed to extremes.
Yeah.
And but it's extremes based on insecurities and, just everything that we would deal with. And I mean, like any man can feel or any woman can feel. And then the second chunk is just straight up tangible, nasty, just gnarly horror. And that's what's fantastic about it. It's able to straddle new school and old school horror at the same time.
Yeah. I think it's a definite departure from what we've been seeing in modern horror. It's definitely like there's that whole backstory that could be a whole separate kind of Hammer horror film.
Mm-hmm.
I think you were saying.
Yeah. And it also has this kind of, at times, not giving anything away, of course, it has this kind of side of J-horror as well, it seems. And I even though I think J-horror is dead, during its prime in the 90s, like there's some really, really solid stuff, like from The Ring and, from Ju-On and shit like that. But it does take a lot of different elements. Like it takes this, cause I always say like, because last time we talked about Legend of Hell House and how British horror has that look and has that feel, and sometimes it just the atmosphere in these films is dreadful at times, and that's kind of how this is. It's slow paced, and just the atmosphere is kind of like you're just kind of dreading what's happening next because you just don't think anything is good is going to come out of any of this.
Oh no.
and I really like that. I think that really works just from the get-go, just without even having the movie like even start, just like how it begins with them in the, the auditorium, and then that big sound comes on when the canal pops up.
Yeah.
And then we're by the canal within minutes. And even though like doesn't feel like it's a central part of the story because the kid's just talking about it, like you're like, holy shit, nothing's good that's gonna come on this road. Like this is gonna be a bad road. Yeah. And I think I really, really, really dug that. And of course the strong performances from everybody. Yeah. I mean, like even the kid is just so goddamn cute.
Yeah.
Like, he's totally believable. Like
he's so believable, and that's the only light side of the movie, and that's what I really, really liked, because other than that, there's no fucking comedy. And the only times that you smile and kind of like giggle a little bit is from how cute the little kid is.
Yeah.
But then it just piles this fucking story-driven horror stuff to you, and it just so many really creepy scenes in this film.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just mature. It's just mature horror.
Yeah.
I mean, like it's just no nonsense. I was explaining this in an article that I wrote about it. It's like it's just no nonsense. It's not wink wink. It's not like you said. There's no comedy to it other than maybe the levity of the kid himself, maybe of the babysitter. The babysitter is a great presence in this film as well, and it's a nasty journey that goes for her too, because she's sticking with David because she cares about this kid. And, it's just nuts. It's just a nutty movie. And I think that, I was talking to somebody about, where Ivan Kavanagh, the director, could go from here. And you know what I would love to see him on? Somebody suggested that he would be great for Sinister 3, but I honestly think that he'd be fantastic for a Sentinel remake, because they're going to remake that like at some point, but bring him over to the U.S., get him on the Sentinel, and see, what he does with that kind of movie.
Yeah,
Sentinel's one of my favorite movies. No big deal.
I love it. I think it's great. But,
don't waste your time with Sinister 3. Come on. This was edited by...
That was so negative, Sean. Jesus.
I like Sinister up till the ending, and I don't know. The sequel better deliver. That's all I got to say. This was edited by Robin Hill, and I wanted to bring this up because he edited Kill List and Down Terrace, two movies that I'm really fond of, and because the editing was like they kind of did the traditional kind of gothic editing, but then they would kind of bring in more almost like it reminded me of kind of when Saw would do these quick cuts. You know what I mean? But even Kill List, you can kind of see his fingerprints on the editing a little bit. But I wanted to mention him.
Well, actually, yeah, I mean, because he like, I'm glad you mentioned that, because he I don't know if he's done edited every Ben Wheatley film, but just his style, because I mean, I think Kill List is a good comparison, because I kind of feel that way, because Kill List, even though like what the story is about at first, like it's that same dread,
right? Like,
okay, we're dealing with a hitman here, killing people, but there's something else going on in this fucking movie, and we don't know.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget watching Kill List for the first time, not knowing anything about it. And I was halfway through, and I got a bowl of fruit, some grapes and stuff. And then I was about to eat, and that shit started, like, the last 20 minutes, shit started going down, and I didn't eat anything. Because I was like, are you kidding me? Like, this turns out to be one of my favorite, like, kind of subgenres ever, which I'm not going to say, it's because I think Kill List is still underseen.
Watch Kill List, people.
But yeah, it has that. It does have that. I mean, even though probably most of the filmmakers behind it are from that area, probably. But yeah, I think that's pretty fascinating. He was edited all the Ben Wheatley films.
He seems to know how to kind of weave in these two different storylines, these two different themes, and they could be two separate movies on their own, and weaving them together and building up to. What's essentially the last memorable 20 minutes. It's a lot of really talented people in this movie, and I kind of went in, when I saw the poster, I was like, oh shit, here we go. What's Ryan have me watching? What's he having me watch here?
I cannot an ability for that poster.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but I wanted to ask you too, because I saw some Facebook acquaintances and Twitter acquaintances today were talking about it online, and they said that. It totally caught them off guard because the trailer was so kind of foreboding and just batshit and just frightening that they almost felt like the trailer sold them a different movie.
Oh wow!
And I can kind of see that, but have you heard that at all? Or
interesting. I've seen both the. To date there have only been two trailers. Yeah. There was the Tribeca trailer, and then there was the trailer that the Orchard cut for its release, and because it's actually debuting in America before it even opens in the UK. Mm-hmm. It's only been, and that's really rare and different for a UK, film. But no, I don't think so. I have to say, I think both films kind of sell the film pretty well. I mean, one trailer more than the other, but I think it's a pretty accurate depiction. Yeah, maybe it's just because I haven't seen them, but seen them in a while.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure. I kind of take trailers with a grain of salt anyway, especially with horror movies, because they're going to try to sell the scares.
Yeah.
But I kind of treat every movie on its own. Like, I try to put everything aside and just enjoy the movie for what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, cool.
Good job, Sean.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you, Brad.
It's like a fucking catfish incident, right? I'm still pissed about that. Do you remember Catfish?
I never saw Catfish after I heard a bunch of people complaining about it.
Did you ever see that fucking trailer?
Yeah.
That trailer made it be like a found footage cult horror film.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And
it turns out to be a bunch of fucking bullshit.
It'll be okay. It'll be okay. I don't think that's the case with the Canal trailer.
No, I didn't watch the Canal trailer. People just, I'm with you. Trailers don't mean anything, and plus, going in blind is just so much more fun these days.
I think so. Yep.
So.
Yep. Cool.
That's so rare. That's so rare for us to do, though. Because everything is being bombarded, and we're getting hit with so much stimuli. It's hard for us to steer away from a trailer.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the role reverse, the duplicitous trailer, which. They're like, okay, you're going to see the trailer for Batman versus Superman. And you see the first 30 seconds and they're like, nope, you're going to see the trailer for a new Adam Sandler movie. Terrible.
Yeah, no, I stay away from them. I still haven't even seen the Mad Max trailer, so booyah.
Oh, that's a good trailer.
But that's a good trailer, man. Oh my God.
I'm not doing it.
Oh my God.
Not doing it.
Hey, remember that part in minute 2 when
All they had to show me is there is one scene where I'm having a brain blank on who's playing Mad Max.
Good. Oh,
Tom Hardy?
Poor Sean.
Tom Hardy.
You shouldn't have said it, Ryan.
No, he just gives one look and kind of like a shrug. You know what I mean? That look.
That's a good one.
That like 2 seconds sold me. I was like, boom, he's Mad Max done.
Yep.
You know. Cool. Well, I think what we're saying is, people, give the Canal a chance. Give it a shot. I had on Facebook today, I saw a lot of positive buzz about the Canal. Out of the blue. I was like, wow, we're going to be talking about that today. And
Fantastic.
It was already kind of gaining traction, and a lot of people were really giving a lot of good reviews and everything. So that's awesome.
That's great. Yeah, it's interesting because now that I'm on another side of kind of like the distribution and side of things, we get like daily reports from the publicists. So we'll get, just like updates as to who's writing about what and who's writing reviews and who's writing, interviews and stuff like that. And it's really interesting. So I'm like seeing a lot of my contemporaries and colleagues and whatnot, like they'll be like, ain't it cool? Just wrote a review and here's this. And I'm like, oh, cool. Thanks for keeping me in a loop. This is really helpful. And then it's kind of a really surreal too, because then it'll be like, Shock 2 drop, wrote this. I'm like, yes, I did.
That's great.
Neat. Really neat. Yeah.
I have a feeling, we were talking about the Saw movies, earlier, and I have a feeling that like horror is kind of shifting back because I think people are kind of rediscovering a lot of movies from the 80s. I think with Blu-ray, a lot of movies coming out on Blu-ray, they're rediscovering a lot of the older, more classic kind of, like we keep mentioning, Hammer horror. I love Hammer horror movies. I just love the feeling that they give. And I'm hoping that this is kind of a renaissance in kind of more classic horror storytelling. As opposed to, what we've been seeing, just get a lot of mediocre horror lately as far as the new movies go.
Yeah, but that's what you're going to get, man. I mean, we see stuff like The Canal and like Oculus and, many other like story-driven horror films that we talk about, but that's within our, the people that we follow on Twitter. It's just such a small community.
Yeah.
Because like with stuff like this, like Oculus, the biggest complaint I heard from everybody was nothing happened. That's such bullshit. A lot of shit happened in that movie. But it's being that there's no fucking jump scares and no, overness, creepy factor, fucking dolls running around, like no one cares.
Yeah.
And I really do hope people discover it. I think the Canal is a great gateway into that because it does have those scares. It does have that creepiness factor along with, something that's very story driven rather than we're thrown in a fucking, ghost house.
Yeah.
And, but it doesn't follow the normal ghost, like, house tropes. It doesn't do that normal bullshit. And that's what I really liked about it. So, if you're tired of fucking ghost movies, this might perk you up a little bit, for sure.
It perked me up, Brad.
I bet it did. I actually showed this because I watched it on Friday morning, and then on Saturday I hosted an all-day marathon with a bunch of people that came over, and I showed this like at 10 in the morning to people. And the overall response, there was one person that didn't like it, but the other 12 did. So
cool.
Nice. Yeah, my folks actually called me from Connecticut, and they were like, so we watched it, this afternoon. And I was like, well, it's about 3:00 your time, guys. And they're like, yeah, we had to watch it in the daylight. Your mother doesn't like horror movies. I was like, and they're like, yeah, horror's come a long way. I'm like, yes, it has.
Sweet.
But I can only imagine them sitting through that whole Canal sequence, and I don't want to give it away, but it's pretty gnarly.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yep. If you find yourself kind of swaying and kind of your attention waning a little bit, just push through it and it's worth it. I think this is a movie that really delivers once it's all said and done. And give your full attention, give it a chance, and I think it'd be.
I think it's one of those things that if you warn, because for some movies, I like to be told, I like to be kind of warned that, hey, this is kind of a slow burn,
Yeah.
And when I'm told that, I'm like, okay. Because it puts me in a different mindset. Not that I love slow burns more than I do just we start off with a big bang of people getting killed or a haunting. So I don't know. I really dig the character development and the build up to these types of things, and then we just unleash it all like towards the end.
Yep.
Yeah. But if the thing is though, is like for more, in some instances, it depends on the director you're in the hands of. Slow burn horror is more of an aesthetic choice just to deliver some kind of mood or feeling or atmosphere. I think in the Canal's case of it being a slow burn, it's a psychological sense, but there are a lot of details that you got to pay attention to, that you should pay attention to, and to watch this guy's degradation psychologically. I mean, like, I remember the first time I watched it, I was like very attentive, but I was like, oh yeah, this is a cool slow burn, and then it explodes. Second time I watched it, I was like, oh man, I didn't even notice that the last time, you know? So I like those kinds of slow burns where it's like, it might not be screaming in your face, but it's slyly telling you things and slyly showing you things.
Yeah. I can't wait to watch this again. And at first I was like, I don't know if I want to watch this again, but the more I think about it, the more I'm like, I think I missed almost maybe, there's so many things I probably missed. I need to really sit down and watch this again.
Yeah, do it.
Cool. All right. Well, that's the Canal.
Do it, Sean.
It's out now. Your favorite VOD, and then limited release.
Yeah, and I just found out today that it's actually opening at the Draft House on the 17th. On the 17th, it's playing in Austin and San Antonio. So for those of you who listen to this podcast in Austin, Texas, you can go check it out at the Draft House, South Lamar.
Cool.
Yeah,
awesome.
That's cool.
Awesome. I would love to see this in the theater. All right. Moving on. Let's jump into 1983's Curtains.
Behind every curtain, someone is waiting. Someone is watching. Someone is hiding. What waits behind the curtains is exciting, frightening, sensual, terrifying, and bizarre. Curtains reveal what you expect and what you don't. The ultimate nightmare.
Kirkins.
Kirkins.
Sounds like a disease. Kirkins. Oh man, they got the Kirkins disease.
This is a Synapse Films release, and Synapse, I feel like they are, I don't know, they always seem to have it down. Like they don't release like a ton per year, I don't think. Their catalog is pretty extensive, though. I'm looking at their catalog here, and it's ridiculous. But
they've been around the block.
But I feel like they take their time with these releases. You know, we're talking about Demons, Demons and Demons 2. Those transfers are pretty fantastic from what people have said. I just watched Countess Dracula the other day and had a good time with that one. But yeah, their movies, they always seem to have they take their time, and a lot of now I feel like because I almost bought The Exterminator on Arrow because there's a sale, but then I was like, nah, I think I'm going to pick up the Synapse release of that. It's kind of how I'm starting to lean.
Yeah, Curtains, they delayed Curtains too because they said that they had found some more materials or something that they wanted to include on this Blu-ray. So obviously, they're not out to just shove product out there. They want to like a lot of companies, they want to take their care. And I know, like watching the special edition and the making of and stuff like that. I mean, like they put a lot of care, just as much as anybody else. I thought it was a pretty good package.
Yeah. Now, so Ryan, was this your first time seeing the film?
Revealed, yes.
It's
funny because 2014. I mean, like, yes, I fancy myself quite the hardcore horror fan. However,
well, you are the horror.
Shut up.
I'm just kidding.
All right, let me tell you really quick what this Horror Authority thing is. Because I'm seeing reviews, so if you guys don't know, on the back of the Blob Blu-ray, it says Horror Authority. Horror Authority Ryan Turek. But they had given me two options. They gave me that or film historian. I'm not a film historian, nor am I a horror historian. So I was just like, yeah, all right, I'll take Horror Authority. Cool. But the funny thing is now that reviews for the Blob Blu-ray are coming out this week, I'm now seeing people refer to me as quote unquote
right
authority, and I'm like, I'm such a dick. But Curtains is one that fell through the cracks. Like there's a couple of like films that I saw this year for the first time that I was like, holy crap, I can't believe I missed this one. And Curtains, I'm seeing it for the first time, thought it was fantastic, especially since I had two friends that were like, we saw it once, we don't really need to see it again. But I enjoyed this quite a bit.
Yeah, but there's a whole reason behind that, because I mean, damn it, see, Sean, what you did.
Curtains.
Curtains is one of those. No, it was released. It had a bad rap to begin with of trying to get it out there, and finally it did, and it got a small, Vestron released it, and it was disappeared. And it was one of those. I remember, from collecting VHS, even still to this day, Curtains was a fucking rare one to find. And it was worth some cash because it was scarce. And then Echo Bridge released it on DVD a few years ago, and once that came, because I remember I was at Walmart or something, and I was looking at the horror section, and it was with this fucking weird ass pack of like 3 stupid movies, and then Curtains was there, and I was like, what the hell? And I picked it up because I mean I'd never had it on VHS. I saw a bootleg of it at some point when I was younger. And, I've always enjoyed this film, and ever since I saw it for the first time a few years ago, I revisit it quite frequently, and I really, really dig it because it's another one of those films. I mean, this is of course a Canadian horror, so it falls under the Canuxploitation stuff, and there's something about Canadian horror films that is that's completely different from the standard American horror film. This stuff's very, very classy at times. Like the whole dinner table scene when they introduce all the actresses, it's just so beautiful. Yeah, it's so well shot, and the whole, even how the film it got into this production hell where shit was delayed for a whole year, and certain cast and crew members were replaced, and anything like that of a backstory of film. Most of the time, it doesn't turn out well. Yeah. The film's discombobulated. It fucking falls apart. It doesn't make sense. It has some kind of bullshit ending that they filmed on a weekend because they didn't have anything else. But all in all, this film really, really delivers completely.
Yeah. I was going to really quick. Sorry for interrupting. I just want to speak really quick to that Canuxploitation and how horror films from that fall under that banner have a certain charismatic quality. And I think, it's something like My Bloody Valentine and Black Christmas. You look at teenage horror films from the U.S., Friday the 13th, The Burning, so on. They have their charms. And, they might be a little, American humor. But there's something under the Canuxploitation and Canadian horror banner where, the teenagers are depicted a different way. They're still the same at their core. They're sex crazy.
They're not super, immature.
Right, and they're not not super immature, and they're not self-aware, and they're like, and I don't know, there's just something to their personalities that I gravitate to, and I think are a lot of fun.
I completely agree. There's like when you watch this, when you watch these films, especially something like Curtains, like a lot of times, even with Terror Train's considered part of Canuxploitation, Prom Night, stuff like that. But there's this whole different vibe with those films, and I completely agree with you. And a lot of times we're dealing with adults rather than kids. Yeah, at times, and there's just so many great Canadian horror films, and I truly think this is one of them, and it's super underseen, and it's just, and I think that's the reason why it probably isn't super popular, is because it doesn't have those normal tropes that you think it's going to have. It has, some giallo thrown in there. It has, some Americanized horror aspects to it. Yeah. It has, it's just, like I said before, it's just a classy movie. Yeah. It doesn't use the same camera tricks. It doesn't use, and the only thing that feels Americanized is the ice skating sequence. To me, because it kind of comes out of nowhere, but I think that's the only scene where I was like, okay, maybe a little. I didn't expect this.
But it's also the most iconic scene out of the movie too. Beyond what I think is one of the best kill sequences ever. Not really. Is when a character gets shot and thrown out of a top floor window and miraculously arches back through the bottom floor window.
Yes.
That's a harsh wind.
It's called the boomerang kill.
I had a good laugh at that.
This movie is interesting because basically about 45 minutes of it were directed by Richard, I'm going to butcher his last name, Richard Kupka.
That sounds about right.
And he came from more of he was a French immigrant, so he had more of the classic. He wanted a really good cinematographer, and they really, like that table sequence that you were talking about, Brad, that they really planned that out, and all the kind of, thought out camera shots and camera movement, the staging and everything. That was all him and his cinematographer. And I guess when he turned the movie in, it was more of a kind of a psychological drama or thriller rather than a straight up horror slasher. And then when he turned it in, the producers were like, we can't do anything with this because they wanted to cash in on the slasher craze at the time.
Right.
So they took the movie, it sat on the shelf, I think for about a year to 2 years, like you were saying, Brad. And then the producer shot the opening 15 or 20 minutes and then the last, 15 or 20 minutes.
Right.
And the middle part is the actual director. And then he wouldn't put his name when I'm not sure how filmmaking works, but I guess the MPAA or whoever came around and said, we need to put your screen. I don't know how else.
Oh, it's probably like DGA or something.
DGA, probably, yeah. They asked him, we need you to sign off on this, that you are the director and that you approve. And he watched it and he's like, no, this isn't my movie. And so they put up Jonathan Stryker as the director, which is the main actor's name in the movie.
That's kind of a fun thing, though. But yeah, the original director, he came from a cinematography background, so that's why he's got that whole thing. And yeah, I think the producer, the original producer, like you said, he wanted something a little bit more generic because I think he did like the Prom Night movies or something.
I think so. It was Peter Simpson.
Yeah,
with his brother Richard Simpson.
Yeah, so he did the Prom Night movies. But you know what I gravitated towards, and I think that watching the movie, I feel not so much a divide in terms of like the transition from one director's vision to a producer's vision. I think that the only thing that's a little bit more, that's where it's glaring is in the third act, when there's just the kind of usual stalk and kill going on. But everything leading up to that, I think it's a cohesive piece.
Yeah.
It doesn't come across as super choppy to me. But what I gravitated to is the fact that it's like a super industry movie, where you've got like basically, the Brood mom, the mom from The Brood, who puts herself in a mental institution because she's such like a method actor. And then her dude, the director, decides, I'm going to move on without you and cast your role in this like major film. Kind of like, if they remade that would be like an Angelina Jolie part,
right.
Where she would that's the kind of part that the ladies were after in this film. But I love the fact that, it's got the girl from Black Christmas and it's got all these recognizable faces. I love the fact that it's super simple. Actresses go up to the house to audition. Director kind of plays his games and plays the casting couch a little bit and someone picks him off. That's a unique concept for an early 80s slasher movie that was so contingent on either revenge style stuff, where a kid was wronged and someone's coming back to, kill in his name, or, any other kind of concept that we saw from Prom Night or The Burning or whatever. I thought that this was a unique backdrop for a slasher film.
What do you guys think of that scene? You can kind of see
Michael Wincott?
Huh? No. Well.
Yeah, dude. What was
Michael Wincott? Yeah.
What's Michael?
Yeah, Michael.
Place in
Yeah, I know Michael Wincott.
Dude, what's his place? I never
He plays
got
Matthew.
He's getting it on the hot tub.
All right, cool. But who is he? Is he like a servant or what was going on? Because I either missed it and then I was like, shit. If that piece of information was relayed, I don't know what.
He was the casting director.
That's amazing. Okay. I don't know.
I just thought it was funny because when he popped up, because I mean, Michael Wincott's just that voice is just super recognizable. When it popped up, I was like, is that? I like stopped the movie. I was like, this is Michael Wincott. It's got to be.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, he's there and he's gone, man. Blink. He's in the hot tub getting it on, and then he's gone.
Yeah, that's.
But there's that scene that you can kind of tell that how this was going more like psychological kind of drama or thriller. Like you're like, what is it this director doing with the two women playing that love scene they're kind of having a workshop, right? An actress workshop.
Yeah, that's super odd.
Weird,
but
odd love scene that is both like erotic but also disturbing at the same time. Because you're like, what is going on? What is this director thinking?
It's a total abuse of power as a director. Yeah. Total abuse of power. But I would not put it past anybody out here to have done something like that. I'm sure that has happened.
Yeah, you wonder because you hear in these interviews the actresses talking about the casting couch and things like that. And apparently this happened a lot in the 80s. I'm not sure if it still happens or not, but it's kind of a weird Hollywood thing.
You know what's neat too is just the mask. The mask is so cool. And I like the fact that it's not just some random theatrical mask. They actually incorporate it into the piece. They incorporate it into the film. So when Samantha Eggers, I think her name is, from The Brood, in this movie, she is vying for this part, this Audra part. And then he just straight up is like, put this on and you're ugly and you got to seduce me. And I'm like, okay, you're giving a double purpose to this mask because not only is it, something to fear from as a slasher, but it's also working into a character piece. It's working into this woman. Does she still have the chops to be able to emote what he wants her to emote through this mask? And at the end of the scene, no, she doesn't. She takes it off, and it's a powerful thing because it backs up the kind of red herring nature of her character as well. And, I thought that the whole origin of the mask was just going to be a throwaway thing, but it was very surprising that they kind of gave it a little bit more power.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot going on underneath the surface. And, it's funny when you hear these interviews that they're talking about, how they went to see it in the theater finally, after so long. And a lot of the actresses and it looks like the producers or I'm not sure who exactly, it was one interview with some gentleman on there. I can't remember his name, but they were just like, "This is just junk. This is garbage." They're like, "This is going to go nowhere." Like none of them were really like proud of it, or
Well, that's the reason. That's why it suffered. Yeah, is because even after it was made, like no one was behind this movie.
Yeah, that's too bad.
And it was, it could have been something. I mean, it's still considered, it has this cult following, but it has more of a cult following because it was unavailable and it was kind of hidden. You don't find a lot of people that have seen it and actually like it. It's more or less, curtains, yeah, that was super unheard of, But it's sad to see a film suffer so much when it actually is decent. And sometimes you have to, I look at the aspect of the technical side of filmmaking when, so much went wrong and there was so many problems and this movie still came out on top. You don't see, when you watch it, you don't feel it you don't feel that at all. It flows well. Yeah. It doesn't feel like there was, different hands in the pot when it was happening, and everything just flows so well. And to hear that the horror story behind it, literally, it saddens me because, this film didn't stand a chance at all.
Yeah.
So luckily we have people, that all these different companies that are taking these films because they do see the importance of it. And they're letting many others see it, and so it's not super hard to find anymore.
Yeah. So. And that doll, and let's also
that fucking doll, man.
Let's give a little recognition to the doll itself. And the doll has a moment that winds up getting explained, but it's a creepy ass doll.
That car, the road scene when she sees it on the road.
Yeah.
When I first saw it, I was still I was like 25 when I saw it. I was like, man, dolls really don't bother me, but that doll could bother me.
Yeah.
Just the sad face alone is just kind of terrifying.
Who puts a sad face on a doll like that? It's the saddest doll ever.
I was like, because when I first watching it, I was like, wait, did doll just make a sad face, or is there a sad face already on that doll?
It's to teach children about sadness, guys.
I guess.
Yeah, but
for all the
that makes it more terrifying.
Yeah, it does. It does. I made a bad wee joke. Sorry. But yeah, I mean, listen, I've been watching trying to cram into the schedule here, trying to watch as many horror movies as possible just because it's the season and you gotta, but Curtains, and Curtains made a nice little, impact on my week. I was like, oh, cool. It's a nice little discovery. So I'm glad I caught up to it finally.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of films like this too. And that's the thing is, I'm hoping that with kind of this revival, between Vinegar Syndrome and Synapse, they actually come back and they're bringing these films to us because shit, man, if we're releasing Curtains, I'd love to see what we're going to get next year from all these companies.
Oh man, that's what I love the most, about the horror genre itself. And I mean, just this year, my horror collection I think is doubled, and I feel like, other than no other genre has such a wealth of unseen movies that are actually worth checking out or just batshit crazy. I'm thinking about sci-fi or
Italian apocalyptic movies.
Yeah. I mean, shoot, there's plenty of those. But there's the horror genre itself just is so ripe for discovery that I think every year I feel like my horror collection, it grows more than any other genre that I have. And it's not necessarily that I don't like horror the most. I like a lot of different genres. It's just these companies are releasing all these movies and putting the time into the releases that then they make me want to go out and grab the Blu-ray, and add them to my collection. No other genre has me spending so much money on a collector's edition,
Like I said, it's always easy. It's easier to watch a bad, dreadful horror film than it is a comedy or a drama.
Oh yeah. Yep.
It's just easier. And you can find, through those films, you can find all kinds of action films fall in that category too.
Yeah.
It's easier to watch a bad action film than it is a drama or comedy. So I think that's why horror always kind of beefs up a little bit, because people still like, quote unquote, the bad horror films. They're still fun to watch. We grew up with them. There's a certain amount of nostalgia. When you're watching a comedy and you're not laughing, who really gives a fuck?
Right.
But I do think that there is an inherent mutant power that we have that allows us to withstand and enjoy bad horror movies. I think there's a contingent of people out there that will go, oh, what are you watching that for? It's crap.
Yeah.
But then they'll watch Adam Sandler movie. And sorry for bringing up Adam Sandler twice in your podcast.
Jesus Christ, Brian.
But yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, we have that ability to just go, you know what? I'm going to reach for, and my go-to is Maximum Overdrive, time and time again. I'm going to watch Maximum Overdrive this Sunday afternoon while I do other things, whereas somebody else will be like, oh my God, I'm going to put on Armageddon or something.
Hey, don't knock Armageddon, man.
Oh God, don't fucking knock Michael Bay with Sean.
I have a soft spot for Michael Bay.
Listen, The Rock and Transformers, that's it.
I mean, I'm not saying he's friggin' Spielberg, but I get the same enjoyment out of a Michael Bay movie, out of some crazy bad horror movie. I like it for some reason. I don't know. Anyway, we're not going to dive into Michael Bay crap.
We could dive into more horror. We need this to keep happening, and that's why I hope other people discover these things, and even kids. Because when I was a kid, it was easier to get my hands on VHS tape, so I grew up with these, and now they're scarce, and these films are kind of lost they're not lost per se, but they're lost in getting in the hands of, upcoming horror fans.
Yeah.
But now with companies like this, it's a little bit easier, and with VOD and things like that. But man, they're hitting 1% of horror films right now with all these companies. There's just so much more. And so much more that needs to be seen, and that's why Lionsgate needs to get on this fucking ball, man. Lionsgate owns so much of this shit.
Does somebody know somebody over there that can go over there and give him a pep talk?
Rocktober blood. That's all I need.
Happened. Oh man, come on. Well, the Curtains disc here is a special edition. It's has a couple little features on it.
It's a 2K transfer. Don't forget
2K transfer. It has 2 audio commentaries. I started listening to the one with Leslie Donaldson and Lynn Griffin. Mm-hmm. And that was funny because it's these 2 actresses. They haven't seen each other in such a long time. They haven't seen the movie together in such a long time. They just start going to like just chatty mode. And it's hilarious because they do have a moderator, and he's not listed back here. But the moderator kind of has to come in and kind of get them back on track about the movie. Because one of the actresses she sees her mom, and her mom had been dead for like 20 years by the time they recorded this commentary. So she's like, "Oh my God, it's my mom!"
Oh,
and they go on all this. They always get derailed, but it's a super fun commentary to listen to. It's not like crazy informative, but it's fun hearing them kind of rediscover this movie together. So, and then the other one is just a bunch of interviews, kind of played audio interviews with the producer, Peter Simpson, and then Samantha Egger. And I didn't get to check that one out, but
they should have got somebody that was like horror authority like status in order to do that.
Yeah, no, they need commentary. Every commentary needs a horror authority,
quote unquote horror authority. The special feature, the featurette that's on there, that kind of looks.
The featurette's really good.
Featurette's really good and really informative. It's good. It gets into the nuts and bolts of like just the the origins to the director getting canned.
Yep.
Then
I thought it was cool they got the director.
Oh yeah, it was great.
Yeah, and then the actress, I love the actress's reactions, I mean, there was that one who was, I forgot her name, she was just like, hey, when we stopped shooting, they were like, well, no one's going to see that again.
Yeah.
She's like, and that's a good thing. And I was like, oh, you're way hard on this, man. Way hard on this movie.
Yeah. No, that's good. And I think, this one, I got this for pretty cheap. I think, anyway, I'm really happy I got it because it was, I think I got it for like $15 at the time.
Oh, I don't want to even brag about it.
But it's, I think it's, if you're a fan of these flicks, it's definitely, if you haven't seen it, it's definitely worth watching, I think. I had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah.
The transfer's fantastic. Sounded good to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, it's 5.1, so it was definitely, I mean, it's not going to be like bombastic or anything, but it sounds pretty sweet.
Mm-hmm.
And the menu, I'm always like a stickler for the music that they put on the menu, because if I like get distracted for a second and then I walk away and then that's the music I'm going to hear on loop,
yeah.
and they choose to use the piano music while that girl's doing the ballerina shtick, and like I couldn't deal with it. Like after 5 minutes, I was like, all right, I'll just hit stop. I'm not ready to watch it. But I do, the other thing is watching that whole scene where she is dancing, and then I actually jumped. There were 2 scenes that I actually jumped in this movie because I had never seen it the first time, and I had it cranked way up.
Mm-hmm.
It was when the dancer is actually attacked, because it just comes out of nowhere. You don't because I was trying to predict, okay, how is she going to get off? And then all of a sudden it happens in close up. And I was like, whoa, I did not expect that. And then there's a moment where, the final girl, something happens. And again, there's a great, and maybe the producer shot this, but kudos to him for doing it, because there was a great misdirection that occurs in it, and it just threw me off guard. So, okay, good stuff.
Yeah, I think all in all, like from beginning to end, it has some twists and turns, and I think it all works. I wanted to mention, do you guys think it needed those little curtain transitions where they bring up the curtains? Or is that too on the nose?
It's a little weird.
Yeah, it reminded me of the corny fucking transitions from Star Wars.
I was gonna say Creepshow. It gave a comic book quality to Creepshow.
Oh yeah, that too, yeah. Well, I mean, see, Creepshow, it kind of fits because we enter in with the comic book.
Yeah,
it just starts, and it's kind of like, okay.
Yeah, I think that had to have been a producer idea, just to kind of
wink.
Yeah, that does feel like a conference room decision that was made. It's kind of like, well, we're dealing with industry people, we're dealing with a director, and we're dealing with these actresses. Maybe we should just let the audience know what they're showing. It's supposed to be dramatic and fun. But,
well, I mean, even at the end, how the credits were set up. Did you catch that? Like how it was Act 1?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, there's that too. So it felt like it was just trying to be a little too fancy.
Yeah, I don't think they needed them.
Yeah, because I mean, the movie is classy enough. I don't need to have that shit at during the transitional scenes and ending to make it feel like I get it.
Yeah.
Like but we didn't bring up the stand-up comedy.
Oh yeah,
stand-up comedy scene that actually had me laughing the first time I saw it. I even still giggled.
That was Lynn Griffin, right? Was that Lynn Griffin?
Yeah, and that's her own. That's her. I was watching on the special features. That was her own material,
her own stuff.
Yeah, and that was a live audience, and I thought that was super super cool.
Yeah, and she had never done stand-up before, and she took to it, man. Like I couldn't see her as a stand-up comic. I don't know why. It's almost like that's something she could have even pursued.
Yeah, she's got just she's just got a quality about her that's just so fucking cute.
Yeah.
She's super cute.
And I've seen it, and the special features revealed that's carried through to her older age, where she just smiles and you can't help but laugh with her, It's just kind of like this great amiable quality about her.
Yeah. She's fantastic in it. We haven't even talked about John Vernon, guys.
Fuck. John Vernon's a force of nature, man.
When I saw he was in this,
brutal.
I was so happy that he was the main director and he was playing, because I love, he's been in so many things I can't even name. He's just one of those, you see him and you've seen him in something.
Yeah.
He's done.
He's a great actor, but he's fucking John Vernon every time because he's so intimidating.
Yeah.
Well, John, you got John Vernon, and then I was really surprised to see Maury Chaykin. Maury Chaykin pops up in an early scene, kind of as like a casting or agent. I think he's like a manager or an agent for one of the actretresses.
Oh yeah, he's great. Yeah, he's the guy behind. Is he the guy behind the desk?
Behind the desk. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, he's he's pretty hilarious in that scene.
Yeah,
he wants you. He wants you.
Yeah, he's pitching it to you. He's writing it for you. I mean, that's perfect agent stuff. But the great thing is like, he's doing that. I forgot who he played in Entourage, but he was in Entourage, and that kind of all made sense. That he's channeling that inner sleazeball from Hollywood,
Yeah, there's just a lot of little things to really love about this film.
Yeah, it's just a great ensemble. It's a good ensemble. It's a unique ensemble, and going back to Vernon, there's a lot of just great power in his silence. There's that moment where he's laying in bed with someone, and then someone walks in, and he just looks at him and is just like, "Sup?"
Yeah. Hardcore, man. Yeah, so what? I slept with this bitch. What's up?
It's just like, ouch, man. But he's so good. He's really great.
He can ice you. He can freeze you with the look. That's for sure.
Yeah.
It makes me sad Lynn Griffin didn't do more horror films, so. She was just in Black Christmas and this. That's all I can think of.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Did she do more, move into more like kind of family kind of things? And I know that she was in Strange.
I know she did a lot of TV movies and stuff like that. I think and TV shows. But I mean, she's just like, you just want to pinch her cheeks.
Yeah, that smile. That smile is great.
Yeah,
a great smile.
But I mean, the whole cast in Black Christmas, all those girls are they're fucking great.
That whole cast, oh my god! Black Christmas, hands down, is like probably, next to Fright Night, one of my favorite horror movies of all time. It's because that entire cast is spot on.
It's so good.
Pitch perfect. They're so good, right down to I don't know if he's like a guidance counselor or like just like a kid, a college kid chaperoning a bunch of kids. Because there's that point where the father's looking for his daughter, and then he gets hit by a snowball, and the guy walks up, and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Ooh, I'm sorry." And then the guy's like, "You should watch out next time." He's like, "Listen, I said I'm sorry, eh?" And I'm like, "Oh, I love how Canadian this is, and how just the guy's just being genuine and nice, and this guy's being a dick." Everybody's just pitch perfect in that. I can go on forever.
Yeah.
Note to self: I'll be crossing Black Christmas off of my list of shame this Christmas time. Finally.
What? Oh man, that movie is so before its time, and just the cinematography alone is just outstanding. Yeah. And it just falls under the Canexploitation thing, though. Like cinematography in most Canexploitation Canadian horror films, Canadian films in general, just look so good.
Do you think
even one that Dead Kids looks phenomenal. Oh, damn it! I said phenomenal again.
Oh man, do you think?
Anyways,
do you think it could be because of kind of the French influence? Because there's a lot of French immigrants came and settled in Canada, and there may be that. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I think it's just the past. Just watching, I mean, growing up and watching films. I mean, with the American horror. I mean, they grew up watching, old stuff from the 50s and 60s. It's just very straightforward. It's, scene,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how it is. And those are fine. I'm fine with that. With Canadian horror films, it's more about just a different perspective. It's like, well, let's have the camera moving. Let's put the camera in a different angle. Same thing with British horror too. It's like, I think even said in Legend of Hell House, it's like, let's try to get, let's do a Dutch tilt so that way it makes the scene feel odd. They always, the way it's stretched out and the way the movies are portrayed, like you feel like you're partially there. Mm-hmm. With a lot of these American films, you feel like you're watching a movie because the camera is stagnant. It's not moving. It's just filming the kids. The camera's, just shifts. With Canadian horror films, the camera's following the person. It's up and moving around. It's doing extreme close-ups. It's doing, really wide shots. There's something always different. And it doesn't feel like, it feels like you're there. And I don't know, that's just how I always felt ever since, I was made aware of what Canuxploitation was in Canadian horror. I really, really started taking notes. And once you pay attention to those things, you see a huge difference.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I, don't like American horror films because that's not true. But, there's just a little, certain things put a smile on my face.
Yeah.
With stuff like this.
A little different in the I guess the pacing and tone.
Mm-hmm.
Of the,
yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Well, I think I'll put a cap on our discussion of Curtains. I think it comes highly recommended by us.
Yeah.
Yep.
I dig Curtains.
Awesome.
Yep. I dig The Canal, too. No big deal.
Yeah, The Canal. So the two movies we're talking about today, definitely, if you haven't seen them, worth checking out for sure. Well, I think that's gonna do it for this week's show.
Hey guys, how about that Tremors 5?
Oh, Tremors 5.
We mentioned that in the beginning.
You mentioned that.
I missed it.
We can bring it up again.
We can bring up Tremors 5 again. We were talking about
Jamie Kennedy is in it.
I was kind of excited about it until I saw Jamie Kennedy.
His story.
Isn't this so weird that we're getting another one, but they're shooting it now and it doesn't come out until 2016?
Yeah.
Those better be some fucking great effects, guys.
Nope.
It better be. It's not going to be.
Yeah, I have actually no faith in that movie just because Jamie Kennedy's in it.
Oh. Well, I can if,
you know what? Because of
work around Jamie Kennedy.
Jamie Kennedy's, ego is a little hurt by all that, guys. Come on.
He was at Spooky Empire last year, or actually no, earlier this year. The dude had 3 bodyguards around him, like big fucking bodyguards, pushing people out of the way for having him go through doors and shit. Dude, there was like, I can't even tell you the other amount of people, like, fucking Roddy Piper and Lena Quigley, like, they were all there, just walking around, no big deal. But Jamie Kennedy, bodyguards.
Well, hey, the Jamie Kennedy experience, man. I mean, come on,
dude.
If
you see me on Twitter and I mention Jamie Kennedy about Tremors 5 in probably about a year, you'll see a hashtag that says "text like a man." There's actually a story behind that.
Oh yeah, isn't that with the
with Stephen C. Miller
Steven.
when Jamie Kennedy decided to run a crowdfunding campaign for a short film that Stephen C. Miller did, but Jamie Kennedy and the director of Hold Your Breath, Jared Cohn, was trying to take credit for, and fucking Stephen C. Miller called him out on Twitter. That shit was so funny, but he said, Steve, don't fight, don't start a Twitter war. text me like a man. That's what he said. So the hashtag text me like a man, that will never ever go away.
I think I retweeted that a while ago. Somebody, anyway, yeah, that's pretty hilarious.
Yeah, he called me a troll.
Yeah.
He said, "Shut the fuck up, Brad."
You're just pissing everyone off, Brad.
I'm used to, I do that a lot, so.
That's all good.
Motherfucker. Get me off. Yeah.
Well, hey, Ryan, is there anything other than kind of helping promote the canal? Do you guys have anything coming down the line?
We do. Missionary comes out October 31st.
Cool.
Missionary. It's the next film from director Anthony DeBlasi, who did Clive Barker's Dread. And then after that, we're going to take a little break, and then we got something coming up in January called Preservation. And I'm just waiting for, we're supposed to be announcing something. I'm waiting on it. We picked up another movie. I'm really excited to tell you about it. It's like really gory and really gnarly and really crazy. And independent, like a little low budgeter. And, just waiting on that.
Cool.
So we'll see. But, thanks for having me back on.
Yeah.
Guys.
Should people be just paying attention to shocktillydrop.com?
Shocktillydrop.com. It gives me a reason to wake up every morning, guys. Go to that site. Go, please.
All right. Well, Ryan, we appreciate you being on with us, and you're welcome back anytime, man.
You bet.
Tremors 5 discussion.
How about just like a Tremors marathon discussion?
Oh, God.
Well, we have to talk about Life Force eventually.
Yes. Anytime. Anytime. I'm ready.
All right. Cool.
Right. Thanks.
All right, Ryan. Brad, do you have anything else? Are we good? I think I'm good.
I can tell you just to be quiet.
Okay, well, you can check us out over at thescreamcast.com. You can find links to our Twitters and everything over there. So just go there, find our shit, drop us a line, and keep the feedback coming. We appreciate the feedback, and you can also give us a little review on iTunes.
And no more drunk episodes, according to Ryan Turek. He's put his foot down.
He is the podcast authority. Let's put his foot down.
Fuck you.
And we will obey. All right, everybody. We're hoping to discuss Nightbreed soon. That's on the schedule. We want to talk about the director's cut. We do have other things coming up before that, but we haven't decided what we're talking about yet. But got some stuff on the way. Pretty excited about it. Talk to all
I
of
just
you.
haven't told you yet.
Right, Brad hasn't told me what the hell's going on. But we'll talk to all of you next week. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Oh, don't tell me you're leaving. The party's just begun.